Hello everybody. Over the last few years of the 21st century, Saudi Arabia have been working on many number of mega projects. And this is in order to minimize their economic dependence on oil, as Saudi Arabia's oil reserves could go into exhaustion in later 2070s. Now here's where we need to give a big round of applause to His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Saudi Vision 2030 that exactly targets to put the country on the tourism map, which could generate huge revenues for Saudi Arabia in comparison to the oil reserves. Perhaps this is the time period where the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia might be the home to some of the region's most impressive ongoing developments. If you wonder how grand the constructions are, well, I could tell you in simple words. These are not called as mega projects, but giga-projects. Now coming to the 21st century, we are looking at several $1 million developments as well as $1 billion ones in this particular nation. Well, it seems to be a lot to talk about. However, it's impossible to elaborate all together in one video. Hence, let's divide this video into many episodes. Alright, now in first episode, we'll explore about some mega structures that includes the rig, Widyan City as well as Amaala. Are you ready to explore? Well, let's dive in. While coming to number 1, we will look into the rig. Now we all know what is rig, right? If at all, let me explain in very simple words. Alright, imagine a huge strong platform floating in the middle of the sea. It's like a giant metal island. Now way down under the sea floor, there is a crude oil. Now think of the oil rig as a massive tool which could help us to grab that oil. Imagine it as a mega straw. The oil rig goes deep into the sea floor and sucks up the oil, just like you take up the juice with a straw. After that, we could use the crude oil for various purposes in terms of petrol, diesel as well as gasoline. Now these big, strong platforms, which are commonly known as rigs, are present many in numbers in Saudi Arabia, which are completely unused and abundant. But the wise people of Saudi Arabia thought of a clever idea. What if we could turn those old rigs into something amazing instead of just leaving them all alone over there? As we could see, the rigs were like giant toys that weren't being used anymore. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Saudi Arabia don't want to rely on oil in future as it could exhaust in the later 2070s. Hence, they want to try new things and show the world that they could do more than just pumping the oil. So they decided to turn one of these old rigs into something special, which is known to be the floating theme park that worth $5 billion. Now imagine this, a giant platform which is transforming into a playground in the middle of the sea that consisted of rides, games as well as lots of fun for everyone. It's like turning an old unused toy into the coolest play area ever. This rig is located in the Sea of Arabian Gulf that is 40 km away from the land of Saudi Arabia. And surprisingly, if you are a sports person, this is for you. Guess what? You are allowed to explore the range of extreme sports in the rig. Along with that, there are 3 giant and luxury hotels that composed of 800 rooms as well as 11 restaurants. The rig project will span an area of more than 150,000 square kilometers and provide a multitude of hospitality offerings, adventures as well as aquatic sporting experiences. Along with that, it is a part of Public Investment Fund's strategy to further strengthen Saudi Arabia's international entertainment as well as tourism offerings. The completion date for this rig is still unknown. However, the construction has been started in the second quarter of the year 2022. This particular project hopes to attract 650,000 tourists per year by 2030. And also along with that, they could create the strongest collaboration opportunities for stakeholders from both public as well as private sectors in the kingdom as well as other global nations. Well, if you're crystal clear on this, let's dive into number 2, Widyan City. Now before we move into this, let me introduce a very important key person, Abdul Rahman Al-Mufadi. Well, who is he? He is the chairman of board of directors of SRECO. Well, what's SRECO then? SRECO stands for Saudi Real Estate Company. It's a real estate development company that based on Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This particular company develops, leases, rents as well as sells residential as well as commercial properties. And surprisingly, its stock is listed on Tadawul Stock Exchange in Saudi Arabia. Are you an investor? Check for their stocks in TSE website. Now coming to this development, so-called as Widyan City. This particular city includes residential, commercial, retail as well as leisure facilities on the total area of 7 million square kilometers. This particular site is located in north of the capital and it will take nearly 7 years to complete. And as per the latest news, the construction have been already begun. Just imagine, there's an amazing city which is being built like no another. It's going to be like a big playground for the people who live there. They are putting in lots and lots of open spaces, including giant gardens along with 200,000 trees. Now guys, tell me, could you picture that many number of trees in your mind? Well, comment below. Now it's like having a forest right in the middle of the city. On top of that, there is this super duper massive park that's as big as 600,000 square meters. That's like having a gigantic field where you can run around, play games and have picnics with your friends and family. Are you ready to have fun in this? Well, comment below. Now, do you think that this particular city is being built all alone by Saudi Arabia? Well, absolutely out of the question. Hence guys, you have to know that grown-ups who are helping to build this particular city are from America and Britain, and they are making sure that everything is super cool and follows the real good rules along with the higher international standards. They want the city to be special and want to help other places to grow further. It's like they are planting the seeds for the future. Now guys, do you wonder what could be the budget of this project? Now here's where another company in Saudi Arabia comes in, which is so called as Al. They are known to be the real estate superheroes locally and globally. They've allocated the budget of $2.6 billion for the first phase, where they are getting a special loan of 1.5 billion Saudi riyals from their PIF to make it happen. Well, what's PIF then? PIF stands for Public Investment Fund, which is a sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. It's among the largest sovereign wealth fund in the world, with total estimated assets of nearly $776 billion US. If you're crystal clear on this, let's jump into number 3. There's another big plan called as Amaala project, and it's like a superhero of Saudi Arabia's big dream called Saudi Vision 2030. It could make the country even more awesome. It's located within the Prince Mohammed bin Salman's natural reserve in Saudi Arabia's northwestern coast. Now, if you dive deep into this kingdom, there are 3 amazing parts. First, the coastal development is where all arts and culture magic happen. Then there is Triple Bay, which is like a sports wonderland with resorts for super relaxing holidays. And guess what? The island is like a home for luxury villas and artist studios where creative minds can do their magic. Perhaps the Triple Bay is extra special. If you wanted the reason why, it's like a natural paradise with a special perfect climate. Just imagine there is a place where sparkling oceans, beautiful coastlines, and tons of cool things to do. There are wellness retreats, fancy resorts, as well as even sports like polo, camel racing, as well as tennis. It's a place where dream comes true, and every day is an adventure, and it's just Triple Bay. Now, if you take a look into the island, let me take you on a magical journey of Alma Island. Picture a place surrounded by bluest seas, where wonders unfold like pages in a storybook. In this captivated land, the Amaala Island is like a treasure trove of Arabian dreams. Imagine walking through gardens that are like living paintings filled with colors and scents that make you feel like you are in a fairy tale. And along with that, there are private estate villas. There are like secret castles where families live in a lap of luxury. You will find 200 villas and much more. Each one is special and home in the magical neighborhood. However, there is lots more. Amaala Island is home to 7 hotels like giant sleepover palaces for the visitors from all around the world. There are 400 guest accommodations, cozy rooms where you have your own little holiday adventures. Now let's talk about another really cool stuff, the Arabian-inspired botanical gardens. It's like a magical forest where plants tell stories, and there's even underwater aquariums as well as museums. Imagine seeing the color fish and ancient treasures beneath the waves. And there's more magic. Artists have their own village and studios where they can create masterpieces, and you can even visit craft shops called tailors. There are exhibitions as well as theaters where stories come to life just like in your favorite movies. But what's the special most place? That's the Amaala's resort. It's like a castle by the sea where luxury meets the waves, and you can dive into the ocean, snorkel the fish, or ride the waves on a windsurfing adventure. So imagine a place where art, nature, and luxury come all together by the sea. That will be Amaala's Island, a place where dream will not be just dreamed but lived every day. Now, if you look into the recent update on this particular project, there is a lot more. However, before we dive into this particular topic, I would like to introduce a company called VJA-Global as well as Red Sea Development Company. I'll explain both of the company in simplified manner. First thing, the Red Sea Development Company. It is established in the year 2018 as a closed joint stock company wholly owned by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia to drive the development of the Red Sea project, which is a regenerative tourism destination along Saudi Arabia's west coast and one of the 3 giga-projects announced by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in 2017. Well, what is Red Sea Global? It is one of the world's most visionary developers wholly owned by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. We are spearheading a new model of development, putting people and planet first and leveraging the most innovative concepts and technologies to deliver the projects that actively enhance the well-being of the customers, communities, as well as environments. The Public Investment Fund merged Amaala with a Red Sea Development Company to form Red Sea Global. Now, the Red Sea is a large-scale project which will be covered in our next episode. Meanwhile, by looking at Amaala project, the establishment and construction work of Triple Bay has been proceeding steadily and has a 5,000-unit construction village for the contractors. Amaala made a special promise with a cool team called Hive Trading and Contracting Co., and these guys are like building superheroes. They had a special deal in helping Amaala to make their first part of their project super awesome. But here's the fun part. They are doing this for a palace called Employee Village in the Triple Bay. It's like a village where all amazing builders get to stay while the construction is in process. But that's not all. In March 2023, another team, Al-Ayuni Investment and Contracting Co., got a super important job. They have got billions of riyals to build the roads, pipes, and everything under the ground for the first part of Amaala. And again in July 2023, something super exciting happened. DLC Global announced a partnership with the team Equinox to create something called Equinox Amaala. It's like a special hotel where you can play sports, stay in cool rooms, and eat the finest and tastiest food ever. There's a rooftop pool with a magic salt, a spa for relaxing, as well as a beach club for all beachy fun. If this is very clear to you, let's dive into the last part of the episode, which is about the completion of Amaala project and their cool eco-friendly plans. Amaala's first phase, comprising of 9 hotels with 1,300 rooms, will be completed by mid-2024. This project has raised almost $2.7 billion directed towards its first phase, and over 250 contracts have been awarded to the date worth of 5 billion riyals. Upon completion, Amaala will have more than 3,000 hotel rooms, across 25 hotels and approximately 900 residential villas, estate homes, 200 high-end retail establishments, fine dining, wellness, as well as recreational facilities. And coming to their cool eco-friendly plans, the Amaala project destination spans over 4,155 square kilometers of unspoiled terrain within Prince Mohammed bin Salman's natural reserve. Now the coolest part is that Amaala is going to use only a tiny bit of huge land, as little as 5%. The rest of it, like 95%, will be left as it is, untouched and wild, for nature to be happy. And that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this video and comment below in case of any doubts. If you love this video, please click the like button and subscribe for further updates. Until then, bye bye for now.